Hello guys, today we're going to review the movie Godzilla x Kong: The New Empire. But before we continue, don't forget to hit that like button, share this video, comment, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell so you'll be updated when new content comes out. A wise little alien once said, "Truly wonderful the mind of a child is. In the mind of a child, there are no limits as imagination is given free rein. Possibilities are truly infinite as the child is not constrained by things like cost, norms, and logic. To a child, the moon can be made up of marshmallows. To a child, a cricket can serve as your conscience. To a child, a giant orangutan with a bone whip can ride a colossal ice dragon into battle. Sadly, that sense of wonder is lost once we grow up. We start using logic and other adult standards to give meaning to the world. And what a drab, sad world we are left with. A world where we can't let imagination run wild." Godzilla x Kong: The New Empire is a movie that has divided the critics and the audience. The critics have tried to put it down, demanding logic and characterization for human characters. The audience, on the other hand, has given it high marks, thoroughly enjoying seeing titans destroy landmarks with glee. So, how should one view Godzilla x Kong? The best way to do it is to manage expectations and simply turn off your brain. The makers of this film are not courting the snotty critics who expect to be treated like royalty in festivals like Cannes. Instead, the film is aimed at the child who would like to see Godzilla achieve Super Saiyan Rose levels. And that is not a bad thing at all. Too often, we lose our pure sense of joy when we try to be adults, forgetting how awesome it is to see a giant lizard use the Roman Colosseum as a bed. Godzilla x Kong is likely not going to win an Oscar, but it is winning audiences' hearts everywhere, as shown by its high audience score according to Rotten Tomatoes and its above expectations box office. The movie is a clear illustration of the critics and audiences divide when it comes to cinema. But ultimately, it is the audience who will decide whether a movie is going to be a success, not those who would like to always name-drop Bergman or Kurosawa. Godzilla x Kong, while not a critic's darling, succeeds in what it attempts to be. A gift to the child in us. One wrapped in pink radioactive ribbons. I turned off my adult brain and let my long-forgotten self watch it. And it was a very good decision. I enjoyed the movie for its bombastic action that is worth the IMAX ticket. Those longing for monster mayhem will go home with smiles on their faces. While I can thoroughly enjoy thought-provoking conversations between Oppenheimer and Einstein, that cannot replace the joy of seeing monsters employ a WWE-style suplex on each other. The action is bone-crunching and well choreographed. While the action can be chaotic, kudos to Wingard for making the action still comprehensible. The VFX team should also be commended for being able to tell a story without dialogue. There are long sequences here that involve the monsters communicating, but the audience can clearly understand what is being said through body language and expressions. Special mention goes to the Scar King, whose gait and mannerisms provide us with enough characterization. This guy is an evil sadist. Kong and Zuko are also given great characterization through an extended sequence that develops their relationship. Critics are of course right when it comes to the script, as the humans are not as interesting with dialogue that are mainly expository and redundant, especially when placed side by side with the monster action. It sounded like bad wrestling commentary that mentions things that were already seen by the audience. There are also moments that will make the critics scream Deus Ex Machina with events happening too conveniently. Gia is the only human that interested me, with her bond with Titan still being a major plot point. Now, I have to mention one character who looked like an angry Jack Black who was kind of grating. The humor in the film is hit or miss depending on your taste. The critics are also right when they mention the scaling problems of the movie. The makers seem to forget that these titans are as tall or even taller than buildings, and there were sequences when the titans looked ordinary in size, not those creatures that were meant to be worshipped as gods. The soundtrack is reminiscent of those 80s sci-fi adventure films with a synth atmosphere, and it works most of the time. But the score for me failed to capture the grandeur of the Titans. The IMAX speakers were not utilized to their fullest potential because of the generic sounding score. Good thing that the sound effects for the roars and energy projections sounded great. Godzilla's charging his atomic breath is always meant to be heard in an IMAX speaker. All in all, this movie has no pretensions about itself. It is just a fun, brainless monster battle royale that is sure to satisfy children and those who are kids at heart. Who cares about humans? I am here to see monsters brawl. I am hoping that parents bring their children along so that the next generation of kaiju fans will be nurtured early. We have to make sure that the next generation will not lose their sense of wonder and imagination. So strap yourself in for a monster good time at the theaters. So that's the review for Godzilla X Kong, The New Empire. This has been Kulas for Tambe Reviews. Thank you for watching. Keep on playing.